We did it! 1,000 subscribers! Yay! This is my little one, everyone. It's Michelle here. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. Now on to the show. Okay, that's all you needed to do. Hey guys, it's Michelle. Thank you so much for joining, and to all my new subscribers, thanks for getting me to 1,000. I'm so excited. And for those of you who are new to me, I've been here talking about what it's like to work for a luxury retailer and give you some tips on shopping and stuff. So I've been reading all of your comments, and I wanted to talk about the Monogram pieces. One that has been coming up a lot in the comments is the Toiletry Pouch 26. So it's that little square pouch. It holds toiletries. It's 26 centimeters, and it's the largest of the three. There's also a 19 and a 15 that describes the length in centimeters. And some of you are wondering, why is it so hard all of a sudden to get this bag? And somebody else commented that they saw it on Fashion File for $900 when this pouch retails for $580. Oh wow, so what is going on with this piece? Well, it is all of a sudden social media popular. I've been seeing the videos on YouTube of this gal creatively putting a strap and a chunky chain on it, so it's very in line with the trendy bags that are out right now, such as the Croissant, and it looks so cute. It's amazing, and it's also an economical, affordable way to create your own crossbody bag. So this is now a social media popular piece, and we've seen these social media popular pieces in the multi-pochette in the past couple years, the Palm Springs Mini, and when I worked for Vuitton, it was the Pochette Matisse. What a lot of people don't know is the Pochette Matisse sat around for years, 2 or 3 years, before it actually became popular on social media, and then everybody wanted it. So in a previous video, I talked about how Louis Vuitton does not overproduce, so it is going to be extremely difficult to get your hands on this piece. Even though it's a staple item in the collection, it's actually a toiletry piece that's meant to be stacked with your other toiletries and cosmetics to put in your keep all or in your rolly carry-on. But a lot of people really love to use it just for a clutch to put under their arm, just something to grab and go, or as a catch-all for their Neverfull or whatever tote you're using. The Toiletry 26 is also so popular for men. There's the damier graphite and there's the leather versions of it. Men really love to carry this as their clutch, their man bag. But as always, the Monogram is the most popular. Even when I worked there a couple years ago, this piece was extremely rare. It was a unicorn. It was hard to find, and it was even hard to order at that time. The only time that production was increased just a little bit was around Christmas. The store I worked in would maybe like get 3 pieces, as opposed to regular time of the year, it would literally come in maybe once every 3 months, if at all. As I said in a previous video with the Pochette Matisse, it's hard to say when it would actually come in. So something you should know about ordering from Vuitton, a lot of people think that you can just walk into the store and order, like there's a little man sitting at the factory waiting to take your order like a short order cook and just sew up the piece and send it away. A lot of people think that this is happening when they're ordering a piece. Oh, I'm ordering it direct from the factory, and that does not happen. So as a former client advisor, I've actually been to the factories and I see the lines, and there's really just like a small amount of sewing machines, maybe like 1 or 2, who are actually sewing the smaller SLGs. So the Toiletry Pouch counts as a smaller SLG. And of course, when it gets popular on social media and it is something that is affordable, people see that, oh, I can convert that to now be useful as a crossbody bag. Unfortunately, Louis Vuitton is not going to start producing more because people want to buy more of this piece. They still have a really healthy business, considering the average transaction is $2,500 to $3,000. So unfortunately, they're not going to concentrate on, the little pieces and the little people. We saw this happening when I was there. They actually were phasing out the pochette accessoire So I'm surprised that it's still available. And it used to be about $485 and now it retails for $790 if you can even find it. It's a little accessory pouch, counts as an SLG, but people do use it as a handbag. And at the time, they actually phased out the favorite. If you remember, it is a cute little crossbody. It's about that big. There was a smaller one for $800 and a larger one for $1,000. But honestly, and they won't tell you this, Louis Vuitton does not want to play in that arena of $1,000 cute starter bags. So they did eliminate that category. I know that seems like kind of a kick in the teeth for some people, and a lot of customers would come in and say this should be available to us, and even though they say they want to cover all demographics, well, you know, they're talking about buy a cute pouch and then jump to a $2,000 bag. However, still in your like starter bag range is the Speedy and the Neverfull, which I think are great bags. They're classics. The style will never go out of fashion, and the Speedy is still in the $1,000 range, so that's still a great option if you want like a whole handbag. Other things about Monogram that I wanted to address. Now, most Monogram pieces are going to be made in the USA. So if you want a piece that is made in France that is Monogram, well, the factories in France are reserved for exotics and higher end leathers. Maybe every now and then a piece will come in, but to specifically look and wait for one, I understand that people want their piece from France considering it's a French company. But what people don't know was that Louis Vuitton started manufacturing in the US, specifically near Los Angeles in the 1960s. When the fashion era started booming in Hollywood, that factory was created in the US to meet the demands of the US consumer. Louis Vuitton became really famous in recent decades by the American consumer. So it only made sense to move a factory to the US. And also look at it this way, if everything was made in France and then imported, your goods would be so much more expensive. And we've already talked about like how expensive they already are. I also talked about how Louis Vuitton does not outsource, which means they do not get materials or labor from anyone else outside of Louis Vuitton. So I have visited this factory. It's in San Bernardino, California, and their lead artisans are actually from France, and they come over and train and oversee the whole production of the bags in the US. A lot of people think that the canvas is different, and it's really not. What you might see though is that stiffer bags have stiffer canvas, and if the bag needs to be more pliable, it might have a thinner, more pliable canvas. Just like when you're using different materials for different clothing, like it doesn't have to be poofy or stretchy or have pleats. So that's one thing to consider, because if you have a collection of bags, the canvases are going to feel different depending on the structure of the bag. Lastly, the date code. I am hearing that the date codes are being wiped out, as well as the made in. The date code is being eliminated and is being replaced with an RFID chip that can be scanned and tell you the info of your bag, where it's made and when it's made. I have a feeling too that this will ward off some counterfeiters, although some of those counterfeiters are so savvy that it will just be a matter of time before they figure out how to do this. I hope that was some helpful information for you about the Monogram pieces. Whether it's from the USA or France or wherever, like, don't forget that you're buying it for the logo. You're buying it to show off that Louis Vuitton logo and to have that Louis Vuitton piece. One last thing, in fact, my mom's Speedy that she acquired in 1983 or so, her brother was a pilot. He bought it for her from Paris. And when I look at that date code, I'm pretty sure that bag was manufactured in Spain. So even if you want to go all the way to France to get your bag, it'd be funny if you went to France to buy a Neverfull and it was made in the USA. But anyways, like I said, the factories in France are designated for exotics and leathers. So if you really want one, you could put out the dough for a crocodile bag. It's only about starting $25,000. If you watched this point of the video, thank you again. I'm so excited for everyone who has shown their support, and keep the questions coming because I love to give you info. Disclaimer, I used to work for Louis Vuitton. All the updates, trust me, the policies change like that so quickly. But I will tell you what I do know about the shopping experience there, so you know what to expect when you're shopping. Thank you so much. My name is Michelle. Thanks for watching. Bye.